At first, nothing felt uncertain. They were interested, present, easy to talk to. You did not feel like you were chasing them. The connection developed naturally, which is why the change felt so sudden. The distance did not begin with a conflict. There was no clear argument, no clear ending. Instead, responses slowed. Messages became shorter. Plans became less definite, and you could not identify the exact moment it shifted. You tried to correct it carefully. You gave space. You stayed patient. You avoided pressure because you believed something external was happening. Stress, timing, circumstances. But the pattern repeated. The confusing part was this. When you pulled back, they returned. When you stopped asking, they reached out. When you accepted distance, they became warm again. And when closeness rebuilt, the distance came back. Stay with me, because this cycle feels personal, but it usually isn't. Closeness did not create comfort for them. It created intensity. At a distance, connection felt safe. Up close, it felt demanding. Not because you demanded anything, because emotional reliance itself felt heavy. You experienced closeness as security. They experienced closeness as expectation. The same moment produced opposite reactions. You moved closer to feel stable. They moved away to feel stable. When they stepped back, it did not always mean loss of feeling. It often meant too much feeling. They needed emotional space to regain control of themselves. Distance reduced their internal pressure, so they withdrew. But distance also reduced their fear of being overwhelmed. Once the pressure dropped, they missed the connection again, so they returned, not to restart the relationship, to restore the comfort of it. This is why the warmth felt real, because it was real, just not sustainable. It existed only while the connection felt optional. You likely changed your behavior slowly. You spoke less openly. You waited more. You watched their mood carefully. You began managing the distance. Not to control them, but to prevent the next withdrawal. Over time, the relationship revolved around stability, not shared stability, maintained stability. You adjusted to keep closeness. They adjusted to limit closeness. And the cycle continued. Understanding this changes one thing. You stop searching for the correct response, because there was no perfect wording, no perfect timing, no perfect reassurance. The distance was not triggered by what you did. It was triggered by what closeness meant to them. You were not imagining the connection. You were experiencing one side of a pattern that repeats until both people can stay present at the same emotional distance. Without that, closeness and withdrawal alternate naturally, not intentionally, predictably. If this helped you understand something you hadn't been able to explain, you can subscribe to The Inner Lens and turn on notifications for future episodes.